This is one of my favorite things to do, quoting myself. With a Bible in one hand and a gun in the other, we can make this country one nation under God once again. In the name of the founding fathers of this great country, don't you ever acquiesce. Don't ever turn your weapons of war and safety. Don't ever turn those over to your government.
Gun Nation grew out of this idea that something was happening that no one wanted to talk about, that it was inconvenient. And the number of deaths in America were about 30,000 a year. And these are the statistics of a war. And they call it the gang problem, not a gun problem. And in America, that always meant young black men. And my point was, it's a gun problem. And it's not just a gun problem, it's the manufacturing industry of America that pump out weapons and the legal system that allows them to be bought with very relaxed laws. Yes, when gang members get cheap guns, they're going to misuse them. But that's not the issue initially. And so the project that I did photographed mainly white middle-class Americans. And I pointed at them as being the gun problem. And so they didn't like that, and that's why the project was very controversial. What percentage of people have guns here then, would you say?
In this neighborhood? Ooh, I would venture to guess everybody in this neighborhood. I doubt if anybody does not have a gun.
And do you think that having guns is a great deterrent to people coming into the neighborhood?
Oh, absolutely. I can promise you that's the reason they're not coming in here. Stay away from me and stay away from my home and we won't have that problem.
Generally, it disturbs people, the idea of this proximity of a gun and a baby, because it's disturbing, it's weird, it's almost funny, but not really. Now, what I didn't realize at first was that Mike, who's in that picture, he saw something entirely different. He just saw himself protecting his baby.
His finger wasn't even on the trigger. That's not what the picture is about. He's not trying to harm me. He's trying to protect me.
I'm looking out for myself, my family, my neighbors.
At that point, I realized how even an image that potent can be read differently by two different people. Gun Nation, the film, well, it was an idea to return to find the people that had been in the original photographic project. 18 years had elapsed, and this was set in a landscape of worsening school shootings. 500,000 people have been killed since I published that book. Why? Why are people so resistant to change?
I want my daughters armed, I want my wife armed, I want my sons armed, and I want them to be able to defend their families. We've never hurt anybody and we don't want to. But at the same time, we're not going to just make ourselves an easy target for those who would rape, rob, and plunder. No, no way.
They made up a myth of the Wild West. They sold guns to people who didn't need guns. I mean, they even targeted fathers and said, you're not a real father unless your 12-year-old son has a gun and you go shooting with him. That's part of the reason that the anti-gun people don't get anywhere, because they're just sort of saying down with this, down with that. They need to kind of almost repackage it and suggest that not living in fear of being shot is an American ideal, is a freedom that they should aspire to.
I got 6 machine guns in the house, 10,000 rounds ammunition in the closet. With the license I have, I could get on the phone today and I could order 100 machine guns, and they're here in 2 weeks. I could get anything. I have a tank. There's no end. Okay, just give me $40.
One won't lock open.
In America, there's no gun licenses, so your gun is not registered to you. You can give it away. You can have it stolen. You can lose it. You can sell it on eBay. And it's not like a car where you have to transfer the ownership of that vehicle to someone else. so that person can be tracked if there's an accident. Why wouldn't you do that with a gun? It's not taking guns away. It's just making it easier to control the misuse of guns.
The news people come here and they always blame the gun. You know, they ask me, when that happened, why do you sell guns that kill people?
And what do you tell them?
What do I tell them? I said, all these guns were on the wall last night, and I walked in this morning and nobody was dead. It's stupid. A gun doesn't kill the people. The people kill the people, and they just use the gun to kill the people.
One of the mantras that they always repeat, you can't blame the gun. And I looked at it and I thought, yeah, but these are the guns that they use. These are the guns. They're designed for military warfare. It's like the fact is there, the knowledge is there, the belief is there, and there's a disconnect